think my brother might still be under the weather. Because I'm looking at him. And he ain't saying nothing. So he may still be under the weather. Bro, I got you, though. I hope you feel better, man. I really do. But you've never sounded more intelligent than at this moment. So I'm enjoying it. The peace, the quiet. The quiet from you, brother. The peace and the quiet from you, brother. I'm enjoying it so much, brother. So much, but I guess I better get the show started, brother. Okay? Okay.
Introduce you to the greatest combat sports show bar none. You are now in the beatdown.
You wanna get beat down?
Let us now introduce you to your host, the Badger, and
What's going on, family? Hey, it is 11 o'clock a.m. 11:02 actually right now. After everything got started, all the festivities and all that stuff, all the special stuff that we do, try to get things rolling here, get things special for you guys, because, we feel like you are very special to us. It is the beat down, baby. My partner's still under the weather. Continue prayers to him. Look, we're going to talk about a few things. I'm not going to hold you long today. We're going to get you in, get you infotained, and get you out. All that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. So, man, it's been an interesting week. Very interesting week. Here in Florida, it's starting to feel like Florida again, unfortunately. Or fortunately for some people, if, you like sweltering heat. They said this morning it was going to be 89, but it was going to feel like 94, and it was just going to get hotter from there. And then when you get used to the heat, then we get the torrential downpours in the afternoon around 4 or 5 till about 9 o'clock. So you got your weather report for Central Florida is what it's going to be. And listen, if you haven't experienced Florida this time of year, if you really want to experience Florida at its most sweltering, it's coming up. July and August, definitely August. It gets so hot in August here. Literally, people have tried the experiment about cooking eggs on the street, and they can. I wouldn't eat them, but you can cook them on the street. It gets hot, and it's so humid. Like, it'll be 98, and they're like, oh, it gets hotter up here, but feels like 108. Or when you break 100, it feels like 115, and you're like, good Lord. This heat down here will make you stand outside and just say, oh my God, is that hot? Is that hot in Florida? So, look, I know you didn't come here to talk about the heat. If you have any comments, please put them in. I'll post them. This show is for you guys about combat sports. So we're going to jump in a little bit. What we did not talk about was Double or Nothing, the pay-per-view for AEW last Sunday. We did not talk about that this week. And I apologize. So we're going to get into it a little bit. AEW, they were still, if I'm not mistaken, at Daly's place in Jacksonville, but they had a packed house. They had fans. I'm not still all up on the fans, but hey, do what you feel like you need to do. And I just won't show up. I'll watch it on TV like I did. Good pay-per-view card. I missed some of it, but it was a good pay-per-view card. Very good card. Pulling up my notes. Hopefully I can get you guys filled in on what I did see. And maybe fill myself in on some of the things that I didn't when I pull up these notes. So, yeah, you can hear my daughter in the background. You try to get a 5-year-old to understand they need to be quiet. They look at you like, why? So, I'm at home. It is what it is. Give me one moment, pulling stuff up. Sorry about that, fam. All right, I think we're close. Double or. I try to, kind of log things in, but. All right. Hopefully, we are here. Okay. Try to save stuff, and doesn't always work like you want it to. All right. So we had Brian Cage against your boy Adam Hangman Page. Brian Cage the Machine, they call him. But Adam Page actually defeated him. And that's because Brian Cage turned down help from the rest of Team Taz. From Ricky Starks and Hook and, the rest of them who came out to help. He turned down the help. So we'll see what happens with that scenario, if Cage turns babyface or if he stays with Taz. All right, so this one was interesting to me. It was more interesting than I thought it was going to be. It was AEW Tag Team Championship, the Young Bucks versus Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley, who used to be Dean Ambrose. I was shocked. I thought they were going to give it to Kingston and Moxley, but they didn't. The Young Bucks defeated Kingston and Moxley by pinfall. So I was kind of happy about that, because not that I'm a fan of the Young Bucks, I just didn't want to see the traditional, the normal. All right, so they had the Casino Battle Royale match, which is just like King of the Ring. But they do it by drawing cards. Pretty much same scenario. I was shocked on this one. Jungle Boy Jack Perry, son of Luke Perry, won this match and now has earns a title shot against Kenny Omega. So it was decent. It was a decent match. That's all I'll say. And then they had Anthony Ogogo versus Cody Rhodes. Anthony Ogogo is a former boxer who his shtick has been knocking people out with body shots in a wrestling ring. Cody Rhodes pinned him. Yeah. But Cody, the interesting thing about that one, Cody was coming out to his dad's old name, the American Dream, instead of the American Nightmare. I don't know if that's a one-off or what's the deal. TNT Championship, Miro versus Lance Archer. Miro, who used to be Rusev in WWE, I think is underutilized. Now he's really starting to be utilized. He's got a lot of talent, lot to him. I'm hoping that he can, keep the title for a while and do some major things with it. He defeated Lance Archer via submission to retain the title. Kind of a weak ending, but I was kind of happy with it. AEW Women's Championship, Hikaru Shida versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Britt Baker got her in what we used to call the mandible claw, now they call lockjaw, and beat Shida. Shida had been the champion for well over a year. And Britt Baker ended her reign. That one shocked me considerably. Sting and Darby Allin versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. How do I want to put this? I wasn't excited about the match. Still not excited about it even when it's over. Sting and Allin beat Sky and Page by pinfall. It was kind of crazy. Reminded me of a WCW match. So I wasn't thrilled with it. But it is what it is. AEW Championship, Kenny Omega versus Pac and Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy had this thing won so many times at the end. So many times at the end. Yeah, Kenny Omega, they gave it to Kenny Omega. It was crazy. But I mean, when you look business-wise, Pac and Orange Cassidy, are they going to really be able to carry your title going forward? And that's the question I had to learn that these businesses are asking, because they are businesses. Are they going to be able to carry our title going forward? I think if you give them a chance, but they have Pac, with the Death Triangle, his two other partners, I forgot Pentagon's full name, and Ray Phoenix. They make an entertaining trio, but I don't know. I still think Pac or Orange Cassidy really could have done something with that title. But they left it around Kenny Omega's waist because I think they have bigger plans coming up for them. So that was AEW Double or Nothing. I hope, it wasn't too boring for you. Tried to speed it along. Listen, we already know what everybody's talking about this weekend. Whether they think it's going to be a real fight or not. Oh, it's an exhibition. Yeah, okay. You got Floyd Mayweather getting in the ring once again. I don't know if it's sanctioned or not, but he's getting paid, versus Logan Paul. I don't think it should happen. But it's happening. But I don't think it should happen. In my personal opinion, I think it's one of those things that cheapens the product. It's going to be entertaining. Floyd's going to carry the fight. I don't think in any way, unless Logan gets a lucky punch, does Floyd let this get out of hand. Now, it can get out of hand because, again, Logan Paul has had a professional fight, which means he had amateur fights. He's 0-1 professionally, but he's been in the ring. So he's nowhere near as skilled as Floyd. But it's that lucky punch. It's that one punch that can change things. Even if it doesn't beat Floyd, it cheapens the product. Floyd's got to be very careful in this, how he carries the fight. If you all remember, we had Steve USS Cunningham on here after his fight with Frank Mir, and he talked about how he was able to carry the fight. Frank never really got clean punches in on him. Even though those punches were heavy and they landed, they weren't clean. So he never really didn't get hurt, but he had to be very careful. Floyd's going to have to be very careful against Logan Paul. Yeah, Frank had 70 pounds on Steve USS Cunningham. Floyd's giving up like 30 on Logan Paul. And he's giving up like 4 or 5 inches, I think. I think Floyd's 5'8", 5'9". Paul's 6'1", 6'2". 4, 5, 6 inches. I mean, that's what you're giving up in this fight. Plus probably about 20, 30 pounds. It's going to be one of those fights that you're going to look at and go, man, Floyd's going to kill him. And then you're going to get in and start watching it, and it's like, why is he not destroying him? Floyd will probably set the temperature. Hey, you go too far, you're going to get one of these. And again, the Pauls, they're all about making their name. And this is the biggest payday Logan Paul will ever have unless he does something to make Floyd look vulnerable. Now, if he does something to make Floyd look vulnerable, then you'll have a part 2 and more people will buy it and he'll make more money. Because right now, keep in mind, he's only making $250,000 base salary. And it's also, he's making 10% of the pay-per-view. So they use the scale of, if the pay-per-view has $200 million, he'll make $20 million plus the $250,000. But what if the pay-per-view does just $1 million? Or let's say 10 million. Then he'll make $1,250,000. Still his biggest payday. Floyd is getting a base salary of $10 million. $10 million. So the pay-per-view's got to do more than $10 million just to pay Floyd, because Floyd also gets 50% of the pay-per-view above and beyond the $10 million base salary. So that's why they're pushing this thing like crazy, because to be honest, they need to make at least $30 million for the investors to make any money. Because you take Floyd's 10 million away from the 30, you got 20 left. Then Floyd gets 50% of that, you get 10 million left. Logan gets 250,000 plus $1 million off of that. Oh, wait a minute. Plus $3 million off of that 30 million. So he makes $3,250,000. Now you've got $6,750,000 to cover all the other expenses for this fight. They're going to push this thing as hard as they can, because they need, if they want this thing to happen again in any capacity, the investors need to make more than Floyd. And if they make $6,750,000 and Floyd, whoa, wait a minute, I did that wrong. No, because Floyd would make 25. Yeah, no, they need to make more than 30 million, because Floyd would make 25 of that. 25 of that. Logan's gonna make $3,250,000 of that. That means they would only come away with $1,750,000 if they only did a $30 million pay-per-view. And you start thinking, oh, that's they could do that. That's a lot of buys, bro. That's a lot of buys to get there, especially with who they're dealing with. So their goal is to get that $200 million pay-per-view, at least $100 million. Because again, the more they make, the more Floyd makes. They've got to get beyond a certain point, man, to make some money. They don't want to walk away making less than Logan Paul. It was a risky gamble Showtime pay-per-view made. So you're looking at, if they only make 30 million on this, Showtime took a hit, bro. They would lose money on it. Let's run the numbers up a little bit. I was going to go to 50 million, but let's not even go to 50 million. Let's go to 100 million. Because if you go to 50 million, Floyd's going to make 35 of that, right? Logan's going to make $5,250,000. They're still only going to make $9,750,000. So they make more than Logan Paul, but they make a fourth of what Floyd's making. Just under a fourth of what Floyd's making. That's insane. Well, they make a little over a fourth. They'd make $9,750,000. Floyd would make $35 million if they made 50 on the pay-per-view. That's insane, bro. When you really look at the numbers. So that's why I'm saying they go to 100 million. Floyd makes 60 of that. Logan Paul makes 10,250. And at least Showtime. Wow. Showtime makes about $29,750,000. Floyd cleans up either way. Nobody makes more money than Floyd. Because even if you go to the 200 million mark they're looking at, Floyd makes $110 million. Logan makes $20,250,000. Showtime makes, oh my gosh, Showtime makes $69,750,000. $69,750,000. Floyd's killing him. The percentages, Floyd is killing him. It's a great deal. It's a great day. Forget Chris Rainey. When he said it's great to be Chris Rainey, it's great to be Floyd Mayweather Jr. in this situation. Floyd is going to get paid Sunday night. Paid. If you can pull it, brother. I ain't mad at you. Wow. We needed to break those numbers down. Both of us were here. That's shocking. That is shocking to me. That amount of money. Shocking. Listen. There's nothing I can say. It is shocking to make that kind of money. Wow. Off of an exhibition. That's why I'm saying this is way more than an exhibition. Because if Floyd gets compromised and he loses and he wants to come back, which is crazy. But if he wants to come back, he's not the complete A side. He's still going to be Floyd Mayweather, still going to be the A side, but he won't make those percentages. If he's compromised and wins, and it looks like somebody can make some more money off the second fight, he still may not make all those percentages. I don't think Floyd's going to give up his 50%, but Showtime going to have to give Logan more than $10 million if he shows that he had a chance in this fight. I don't think he will, but, it's just me. Let me know. Comment. Let me know how you feel about that. Put a comment in the chat and I'll grab it. Let me know how you feel about that. Because right now Floyd is Bonnie and Clyde in one person. He is getting away with robbery, and I ain't mad at him. Listen, it's gonna be a good fight, man. No, it's not. It's not gonna be a good fight. Not at all. There is a heavyweight fight on Saturday. I'm looking to see. I haven't found any more information really on it. If you guys have found any more, let me know. But I haven't found any more information really on it. But there is a fight, a heavyweight fight on Saturday. Daniel Dubois versus Bogdan Dainu. It's for the WBA interim heavyweight title. WBA interim heavyweight title. It's interesting. You wonder where that WBA title is right now, right? That's something I should have looked into. You wonder where that WBA title really is right now. That's for the interim. Saturday night also, you have UFC Vegas. Yozinho Rosenstrike versus Augusto Sakai in the main event. Listen, if Rosenstrike wants to have any shot at getting back in against Francis again, this time for the title, he's got to win this. He's got to look good winning it. He can't look like, yeah, you should have won it anyway. No, you got to look good winning it. Because Yozinho, the last time we really saw you on a big stage is when Francis pummeled you in the first round. Before he beat Stipe. And anybody want to let me know if Stipe's coming back or is he retired? It's a very convincing win that Francis had against Stipe, but Stipe is an incredible fighter, man. So I was just wondering if he was coming back. Take some time, recoup, train, look at the new Francis, maybe 1 or 2 fights, and is he coming back at that point? It's interesting. I'd like to know. But Yozinho, and then for the co-main, you got Walt Harris versus Marcin Tybura. Walt Harris versus Marcin Tybura. Gonna be a good fight. Walt Harris is always entertaining. He continues, and he will probably for the rest of his life carry that heavy heart from his daughter into his fights. But he's a good fighter. You just can't get caught. But he's a good fighter. Again, that Daniel Dubois boxing match that I was talking about is June 5th. Check local listings, but it's on BT Sports. BT Sport. So you don't want to miss that. And it's from Telford International Center in Telford. I want to find out what Telford is. This is bothering me. It is bothering me. So if you'll bear with me, I'm going to ask Google, where's Telford? I should know, but I don't. So I'm going to ask Google, and hopefully Google will be able to tell me. I feel stupid. Okay. I'm going to say England because there's also a Telford, Pennsylvania. And there's a Telford in New Boston, Texas. Telford State Prison. I'm hoping they're not fighting for me all that. That'd be pretty interesting. But I think we're looking at Telford, England. That's where I think we're looking at, fam. I think we're looking at Telford is in England. That's why it's going to be on BT Sports. So probably around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I would say at 4. Turn on around 4. If there are prelims on, they'll be on. They're not always prelims on those British cards that we see. But I would say 4 or 5 o'clock, even if you wanted to try looking at 3 Eastern time. But I'm thinking 4 or 5 Eastern, you'll be able to find that fight. It's crazy that, that we're not finding out exactly where this fight is taking place. I mean, it says Telford, but that's it. So I'm thinking the way it's listed, it is in the UK. It's from the Telford International Center. So, you know what? I'm going to look one more time and see. Okay. The International Bear with me, fam. I'm going to get it. International Center. Now, that would probably give me a better idea. In the UK. Yeah, it's in the UK. So, sorry about that. I should have had that beforehand. Sometimes life happens. But we got it now. So, BT Sports, I would try about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 5. We should be able to get it. Of course, the UFC is going to be earlier. It's going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern time. That's when the main card starts on ESPN Plus. And the prelims start at 4 p.m. on ESPN Plus. That's interesting. Now, keep in mind that Floyd Mayweather-Logan Paul fight is not on Saturday night. It's on Sunday. It's on June 6th. And it's at 8 p.m. on Showtime pay-per-view. So it's the night usually wrestling does their pay-per-views. This one will be on Sunday night, 8 p.m. on Showtime pay-per-view. So we got all that squared away, right? Right. Okay. Cool. Whew. Because I don't want you looking for it on Saturday like I normally would and be like, wait a minute, he said the fight's going to be on. Nope, they moved it to a different day this time. Let's see how this works out on the pay-per-view buys. We won't know right away, but when we find out, we'll bring it to you. I don't know if I should, I'm not going to cover that. All right. So, entertain, got you ready to go. The weekend's coming up. Hey, we're still saying shout out to all of those who sacrificed their lives. And when I say sacrificed your life, doesn't mean you died in service, but you sacrificed a portion of your life to go into the military. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. If I'm missing any, I apologize. NASA. Memorial Day was recognized on Monday. But every day, if you see a veteran, whether you're friend or foe, you like him or you don't, like her or you don't, you should recognize the sacrifice they made. I heard somebody say once, yeah, but they got paid for it. You get paid for your job. But what are the chances you're going to get killed? What are the chances that you won't make it home? Even those that travel for work. If you choose to, if there's an emergency, you can always get on a plane and go home. It's not always so for those in the military. I did not serve, but I salute those that did. I had a choice, and I went the collegiate route. And part of me feels like I should have gone in when I got out of college or before I went to college. But I was told by a friend of mine who went in, bro, if you didn't have to, if you had another choice, you took that choice. It doesn't make you any more or any less than anybody else. But I salute my veterans, my police officers, military. Salute you. Love you guys. We'll see you Sunday on our more formal show, The Fighter Share Report, at 11:30 a.m. Thank you for joining me on the Beat Down every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 11 a.m. and The Fighter Share Report on Wednesday at 11 a.m. and on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourself and each other. It takes a village to raise a family. It takes a village to keep a battle from starting as well. Love you guys.